right. Well, it is Bourbon Heritage Month, and so we are celebrating with Master of Bourbon, Mark Rucker. Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you all doing?
Great. So thankful that you came down in your mobile podcasting unit.
Yeah, right.
So fancy in here. Talk to us about what we're in right now.
Well, of course, it's an RV, right? It's a Class C 25-foot RV, but it's a dream that I've had for several years to be able to travel, not just Kentucky, but around the United States, go to different whiskey events, different distilleries, and really get the opportunity to meet with a lot of different people, not just the distillers and the people that work there, but just fans or listeners of the podcast, give them an opportunity to relate to us and get together and hang out. So I had the opportunity to buy this earlier this year, and now it's a business expense.
Yeah, that's right.
So I get to travel around. We've gone to several different whiskey events already, and it's just a lot of fun because it's really become kind of a cool little hangout spot for people that are in the industry once they finish doing the festivals and whatnot, and they want a place just to unwind before they go home. They climb on here. We might have a pour or two and some fun conversation and just kind of hang out.
Yeah, I definitely want you to pull up in front of my house with this, because me and my husband will be out there lickety split.
We'll just hang out, right? Turn the AC on, put the slide out, and just chill, have a few drinks.
Yes.
So nice.
Well, it is Bourbon Heritage Month, and there's a lot of events going on. Talk about a few of those.
Yeah, so we just had the Bourbon Festival down in Bardstown. It's Kentucky Bourbon Festival. That's a huge event. This is their 33rd year.
Wow.
So it's been around for quite a while. I think they had over 7,000 or 8,000 people down there this weekend. The weather was a little warm. You never know with Kentucky weather, right? What's going to happen. A little bit warm, but it was a great turnout. A lot of great things going on down there. And it's a really cool opportunity for people, not just from here in Kentucky, but across the United States and even across the world. There are people that come in from all over the place for this event. But it's an opportunity for them to meet these people that they look up to or they admire, or they respect. Some of these bourbon people are like rock stars. It's really funny. And you see people when they walk around, they get to meet them and they're awestruck. Like meeting a celebrity, people signing bottles and things like that. But it's a really cool event. A lot of educational stuff goes on as well. There is a little bit of drinking once in a while, people sampling, which is really good because you get to sample products from the different distilleries and producers, and you don't have to buy a whole bottle. So you can try it before you buy it, basically. But it's really cool. And then this week, starting Thursday through Sunday, is the Bourbon and Beyond Festival over in Louisville. So a lot of great bands and artists that are going to be performing over there. So I hope to be over there. I got my media pass this week already, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah,
it is.
So you have the Bourbon Life podcast. It's #2 in the world.
It is.
That's amazing. Tell us some of the people that you've interviewed.
Well, we've been really fortunate, and it's kind of weird to say it because we started this about 2 weeks before Governor Beshear shut down our state for COVID. And you think, oh, that's a terrible thing. And it was, obviously, for a lot of people. But for us, it really created an opportunity because these master distillers and people that work in the industry weren't able to go out and do things. They couldn't go out and meet and greet. They couldn't have people to the distillery. So one of the easiest ways for them to get the word out about what they're doing was to appear on podcasts. And we had just started. We were 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, and started reaching out to these distilleries. And people were just like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And it shocked me. I didn't anticipate that. And we figured out our original goal was to travel to all the distilleries, meet with them in person. Couldn't do that. So we figured out a way we could record online. We solved that issue, and we were able to get some great guests, and we've been able to continue to do that. So we've had all the big master distillers like Harlan Wheatley over at Buffalo Trace. We've had Connor O'Driscoll from Heaven Hill. We've had Fred and Freddie No, two of my favorites from Jim Beam. Love those guys. So we've been really fortunate, but we also like to highlight smaller brands around the state, even around the United States, because I always like to say, I joke and say Kentucky is the only place you can make bourbon. That's not true. You can make it anywhere in the United States. So we've been really fortunate, though, to have some great producers as well from other states. It's an opportunity for me as a native Kentuckian to share my love of my state and our principal product, bourbon, with people all around the world. And it's a lot of fun.
Well, you're a little bit of a celebrity yourself because you are a master of bourbon.
I am a master of
Talk
bourbon.
about what that means.
I am one of now 7 masters of bourbon. I was one of only 5, but they added 2 more. So gonna dilute the whole pool now, right? So, but it's a process similar to the master wine sommelier. We go through a 2-day examination process. So we have to do a blind tasting. I did 8 different whiskeys and actually got 4 of them absolutely correct. Figured out what they actually were out of the 8. And then we also did a essay exam, which sounds kind of weird, but we did an essay exam and then an oral examination where the judges could ask us anything about bourbon, bourbon history, bourbon production, bourbon techniques. It's pretty intimidating. It really wild last year to go through that. but I'm happy that I did. And like I said, I'm one of only 7 masters of bourbon in the world now, so it's almost like being a master wine sommelier. A lot of work and effort and study went into it, but it gives me an opportunity to do a lot of fun things and do tastings and lead people, educate. That's really the big reason I wanted to do it, just because I want to be able to educate other people who are just getting into bourbon, maybe don't understand the processes and how it's made as much. So for me, it's just a great opportunity to meet people and share my love and passion.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing your mobile podcast RV with us.
Yes.
Can we take this tailgating?
Yeah.
That's what I want to
You
know.
know what? If you get me an RV pass, I will be there in a heartbeat, and I'll
Okay.
even bring
We're
all the
working on
bourbon.
that.
I'll bring all the bourbon with me.
Mark, you're a gem. You're a Kentucky treasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Wow, that was so fun. All of the information is on the screen.